Think about in a situation where you are isolated and living in a remote locations and no connection with the outside world, very limited number of interactions. You're not able to get any updates about what's happening around the world. Over the period of 1 or 2 weeks, you feel that you're completely cut off. That's the power of news, information. Continuously we used to get updated. So that's the important topic we are going to discuss today, how news process happens in a newsroom or newspaper or television or radio, wherever possible way. So I'm Arul Selvan, and today we are going to discuss about the news developmental process, understanding the news developmental process, and the role of media literacy in analyzing the news, and how what are the importance of having the skills of media literacy while dealing with the news content. In a routine day life, whenever if you are regularly reading a newspapers, morning eagerly would wait for the newspapers today's copy. Similarly, if you are regularly habitual to watch a prime time television news, you tend to spend more time in the evening with the television news. Or if you are very techno savvy and subscribing all the alerts, news alerts through mobile apps, continuously 24/7 you are being alerted about the new developments. All this process being done by many institutionalized news agencies, news organizations. Some of them are government-owned, many of them are private-owned. But in recent past, there are news outlets managed by individuals as well as a collection of small groups. So we have different sets of news outlets, and now we are going to discuss about how these organizations, outlets, individuals collecting information and delivering to the consumers or audience. In that process, what is our role as an individual? What is our role in the whole news developmental process? We need to contextualize our role in a very meaningful manner. That's how this media literacy plays a crucial role. Before we go to the developmental process, let us understand what is news. News is kind of current affairs, and it's a collection of information about the recent developments, and it's a necessity for any society. Any developments and any social, cultural, political, government, technological, environmental level, any development happens that needs to be informed in every stakeholders of that given location or elsewhere. And but in routine life, in our life or somebody's life, every part of the country or every part of the globe, there are so many incidents are happening. But remember that not all the incidents are reported in the newspaper or TV or other newsletters. Selective outlets, selective incidents are captured and transmitted either in the print form or in electronic form. How this selection is happening, who are the people are selecting those stories, what criteria they are following that. Simple criteria is newsworthiness, the news value. The news value is a criteria in which the newsroom editorial staff judge all the stories, and they have many criteria of news values like near proximity and popularities, celebrities, and consequences, curiosity. There are many factors of news values plays a role. On that basis, whatever news stories are getting, they filter it, they'll combine it, they'll package it, they'll deliver that. So this is a very generic definition of what the news. And in the whole news process, remember that all the things are done by human beings. Each person differs from each other with different attitudes, beliefs, and agenda, and ideological background and interest, and other behavioral patterns, as well as the news organization's own agenda, profit oriented, public oriented, government wanted, commercially owned one. So there are public service broadcasting or privately owned commercial broadcasting. There are many ways in which the news organizations are run. On that basis, some of the stories are reported very objectively. Similarly, some of the stories might be presented in a very sensational way. And as a normal audience, for outsider, both might look similar, objective and sensational, because they may not say anything to us. Okay, this is very objectively we are reporting, and here we are sensationalizing the story. They never say anything about that. But hidden agenda makes difference between objective and sensational reporting. As a normal audience, news consumer, we have to be very careful to differentiate this between these two broad news categories. And other than that, there are in the news productions there are a lot of values, ethical values, guidelines are practiced voluntarily by the organization as well as institutions. How do you maintain the objectivity? Ethical stand is very clear. You have to balance both the sides. If there is a conflict, then you can't take a stand for one side. If you take one side, means that's a biased reporting. Objectivity means neutral point. Neutral point in the sense, if there's a conflict, party A and party B. We can't take a stand for any particular thing as a journalist, as a media organization. We have to report the point of view of both. Let the audience decide what is the correct, what is not correct and all. So that's what the ethical guidelines says. Other than the ethical guidelines, there are mandatory guidelines that's implemented through legal framework. So ethics is voluntary effort, and legal constraints are constituted through the legal framework. So this is the broad understanding about the news. And what are the stages involved in the news? I told you earlier, there are many incidents in every corner of the country, every corner of the globe is happening. And not everything is being reported. Few things are reported, many of them are rejected. And primarily there are 4 key stages of news development. One is gathering information, another one is verification, another one is writing, and the last is disseminating. These are the 4 incidents. For example, if there is a major accident near the urban city, and the immediately newsroom will alert the particular beat reporter. Suppose somebody is looking after the city crime reporting, they will be alerted to go visit the incident. If the incident is quite far or happened a couple of hours back, because normally police clear the site very frequently, until otherwise required, they will maintain the evidence thing. So if that incident already happened and unable to reach a location, then they have to reach the particular official position of either police station or hospital or administrative offices. From there, the reporter collects the information from multiple sources. Might be a press release, might be there are some information from news agencies, everything about one accident collected by 1 or 2 reporters. They'll combine all this information, they'll verify that, because other than their own news collection, information collection, they are collecting from multiple sources. They'll verify the source. What is a simple role of verification? Check it with double checking the information. Check it with one person and check it with the other person related to the incident. So automatically, if both are saying the same story, same information, most likely the information is correct. So once verification is over, put together all the information and write a story or produce a story or create a story for different platform and disseminate. These are the fundamentally 4 different stages of news development. And in this process, accuracy is a crucial component during the verification, because the news, basically journalism is being frequently quoted as a journalism is literature in a hurry. The news life cycle is 24 hours earlier, but now with live television and 24/7 online platform, news life cycle, life span is continuously going down. So in this, in the hurry-burry, in the speed in which everybody wants to break the story, and the main culprit, main scapegoat is accuracy. Information cannot be disseminated in a wrong manner, okay, and there are a lot of consequences for that. So the news organizations, credibility, loyalty also connected with the accuracy, because if some news outlets says this information means, many of us, we used to tend to believe that. Easily you can connect with any agency, you are familiar with that. And some we used to doubt that, okay, they used to do like that. Some we firmly believe that if this agency says, and there are a lot of chances that the information is correct. How they got this kind of brand value? Because of consistently they are giving right information, accurate information. This is one of the criteria for during the news development process. And reporters collect the information, but they can't publish the story directly to the public. It goes to multiple stages. Reporters submit the draft to the copy editors, and the copy editors submit it to the senior copy editor. Then they'll go to the news editor, and they'll goes to the finally, if required, to the chief editor, and they get published there. So every stage, a draft story is being filtered, scrutinized, reviewed, and this process, there is any deviation that is being maintained, that's being taken care of that. And editorial team of all these people, they'll add value to the story, and they'll check the accuracy, they'll check the balance, they check the objectivity, and they are representative of the organization, and they take care about their editorial values, and they'll take care about their target group, and they take care about all their other operational values. Then they publish the story. So it looks like that it's a very complex process, but it's in the news operation, it routinely happens that. And in the whole process, earlier it takes very long time. Earlier I said it's 24 hours life cycle for a news, but now it's gone down. The reason is technological advancement. So a reporter can transmit the story without visiting the office. Pictures, video, live video, anything can be done, and immediately that can be transmitted to the society directly. And earlier it was not possible at all, but now so the news processing has become more easier during the technological advancement. But remember that in the whole process I mentioned, I gave the example of an accident. Remember that whatever the final outcome of news story about accident is being constructed. Accident happened, they're recreating the events happened that leads to the accident, they recreate the story, then they tell the story to the audience. So it's not a live reporting. We are not looking at the accident live capturing. There are many CCTV, or there are many cameras. Many times we might have seen the live accidents, recorded accidents and all. But normal newsroom, whatever stories about accident comes, they are reconstructed. Reconstructed means the reporter, I told you that they gather information from multiple sources. Multiple sources, they'll give the event that led to the accident. So reporter collects the information and writes a story. This is how the accident happened, and this is a casualty, and this is what the consequences. Or take any story, everything is being told, everything is being created, everything is being constructed. So the editorial choices, the angle in which they are presenting the story, the perspective in which they are constructing the story, the choice of the words, and the presentation of pictures, and the writing a headline, positioning of the story in a front page or insert, gives lot of additional information to the story. So remember that in news, always any information It's not direct like a live television. If normally the news story, text informations, and many of the packaged informations are recreated or constructed stories. Language and framing plays a crucial role, and what kind of sources they are taking, and I said when there are conflict situation, whether they're taking a stand or any very crucial matters, they are anti-government or pro-government or anti-company commercial corporates, are against the corporates, are against the particular country, or supporting the country. There are many ways in which the news can be presented. This all happens very subtle level. As an audience, we have to be very careful about what kind of angle they are taken, whether the bias while reporting, whether particular line of argument is being taken, one particular kind of source is being quoted. So all this we have to be very careful about that, and the context in which the particular news presentation is being made, that also matters. All these are critical aspect of news production. I was explaining about how news is being developed, and now I am explaining about how it needs to be taken care critically. So here, in this whole process, and there are some challenges of news development. One, I told you that because of technological advancement, news dissemination no longer with the institutions, no longer with the news organizations. Even individuals can do the news dissemination. I can post information through social media. Similarly, whoever having connection with the internet, having a mobile or other similar gadget, they can post information about any event. The same accident, how newspaper is presenting, definitely you might have come across many reports, many information, images, videos from individuals through social media, right? And there's a lot of scope for giving a wrong information, fake information, misinformation, and disinformation. Same information is being presented in multiple different perspectives, depends upon the individual's benefit. So this is the one challenge in news development because of technological advancement. And there is a lot of scope for biasness and one-sided stories. Because of the social media, because of technological advancement, many voices are being presented in the online public sphere, along with the news outlets. And outlets themselves, they have their own stand for each and every issue. Along with that, there is another component of individual contributions. The news scenario nowadays, the news ecology, news environment is quite challenging for individuals to understand clearly. Until otherwise you have a lot of clarity, then you can make a sense out of whatever presented. But remember that many youngsters, many people who are taking the information as it is, this is a challenge for that. This is a challenge because every information is loaded with a certain agenda. This loaded agenda influences the opinion. The influenced opinion, that's what wanted by many stakeholders, because there's a benefit for them. It's a political party, favorable opinion required. The corporates, favorable opinion is required. Social institutions, their support is required. So every institutions, powerful institutions, individuals, and they're using multiple news outlets, individual level or group level or institution level. They're trying to influence the common persons and convert their knowledge or opinion in favor of those people. So this is a big challenge for the news operations. The last point I would like to give in this presentation before concluding that, media and information literacy is a very crucial aspect in this process of handling the challenges. How to handle the misinformations, disinformations, and how to identify the objectivity, how to identify the biasness, how to identify the one-sided reports, how to identify the hidden agenda. All this media literacy helps the consumers, media consumers, to analyze the news from the informed point of view. And critical thinking skills that helps the audience, news audience, to decode the story. And they have to question the information they have receiving. They question the authenticity. They have to question the sources quoted in the stories. And lastly, they have to engage with the news content. Now with the technology, we are no longer passive users, but we can contribute equally. So the news is a collective process. Updating the recent developments is being developed in 4 different stages, and the technology plays a crucial role. And because of technology, there are side effects of misinformation, disinformation. Media literacy plays a crucial role for an individual to handle those biasness, hidden agenda stories in an effective manner, because the individuals, people, they have to take a decisions for multiple level. They have to take informed decisions. News plays a role. Media literacy helps them for that. Thank you.